Hints, ready? Yes, start. I am glad that the National Club for Farmers has sponsored this All India Convention on Higher Agricultural Production and the seminar on social and economic growth of rural millions. Agriculture is the bedrock of our economy. 70% of our population is directly occupied in this sphere, and nearly 60% of the total household consumption is comprised of agricultural products. Increase in agricultural production is therefore basic to the progress of our economy. Thanks to the efforts made by our farmers, important strides have been made in raising the production of food grains and other crops. The record of agricultural progress in the last 5 or 6 years has been particularly impressive. The production of wheat has more than doubled to reach the level of 26 million tons in 1971-72. Significant advance has been made in the extension of area under high-yielding varieties of cereals, increased fertilizer application, development of minor irrigation, particularly groundwater resources, and provision of institutional credit to the farmers. The area under high-yielding varieties of cereals is now around 22 million hectares. Irrigated area has been doubled since independence to the level of 40 million hectares. However, the widespread drought of 1972, which has caused a severe setback to agricultural problem, is a stern reminder that there is need for putting much bigger efforts in the coming years. The agricultural base has to be raised so that production will not only be adequate but also be more stable. This can be achieved by continuously extending the area of cooperation among scientists, planners, extension workers, and farmers. While we look back on the progress of agricultural production in recent years with a measure of satisfaction, one also has to recognize that quite a large number of the underprivileged and weaker sections has been left untouched by this progress. Increasing prosperities of those who are better endowed with wealth and resources and stagnation of the weaker and underprivileged section has led to the widening of disparity and social tensions. My belief is that economic progress is meaningless if a large proportion of our population remains steeped in poverty and suffering and is condemned to a miserable life. It is in this background that we have adopted the motto of growth with social justice and have taken a number of steps to move in that direction. In the approach to the fifth five-year plan, the National Development Council has laid down that the removal of poverty and attainment of self-reliance will be two principal objectives of the fifth plan. The subjects of your convention and seminar eminently match with these objectives, and I hope that your discussions will lead to practical and useful conclusions. Under the fourth plan, it was laid down that besides the objective of occurring consistent increase of about 5% per annum in agricultural production, efforts would be made to enable as large a section of rural population as possible including the small farmer, the farmer in dry areas, and the agriculture labor to participate in development and share its benefits. Small farmers development agencies and agencies for marginal farmers and agricultural laborers have been established in a number of districts. The crash scheme for rural employment has been undertaken to provide employment opportunities, particularly to members of the most indigent and helpless families. Agro Soviet centers are being set up to provide employment to the unemployed agricultural graduates and to provide the services of modern machinery and equipment to the cultivators. These programs represent new initiative towards improving the conditions of underprivileged section and handicapped areas. It is true that as compared to the magnitude of our problems, these are only the beginnings and we have yet a long way to go in this direction. Social justice and growth are not inconsistent objectives. There is need for sound planning, proper organization, and effective implementation of plans. We have an abundance of human labor, but limited land and water resources. At the same time, our soil and water husbandry practices are still imperfect, and we are getting from our resources much lower production than is possible with proper application of scientific knowledge and better agricultural techniques. Scientific advances have opened up several avenues for increasing productivity of available natural resources. It is organization and management of resources that can help to bring about the desired results. My own vision of a prosperous agriculture in India is one in which the village community joins hands on the basis of equality and teamwork for optimum utilization of labor and land and water. I would like to use this opportunity to sound a note of caution against excessive dependence on chemical fertilizers. We must give due importance to organic manure in planning our agricultural strategy. Our farmers, through their traditional use of cow dung, farm waste, and poultry manure, right soil, compost, and oil cake, etc., know the value of organic manure. We had a vast source of organic matter in our country. Stop.